Welcome to the Nutley Cisco Academy. Today we are discussing static routes and IPv6 and IPv4 examples.
Static routing. Routers are the devices responsible for the transfer of packets from one network to the next. Routers learn about remote networks either dynamically using routing protocols or manually using static routes. In many cases, routers use a combination of both dynamic routing protocols and static routes. These static routes are very common and do not require the same amount of processing and overhead as dynamic routing protocols. Static routing has three primary uses: providing ease of routing table maintenance in smaller networks that are not expected to grow significantly, routing to and from stub networks. A stub network is a network that has been accessed by a single route, and the router has only one neighbor. And the last use is using a single default route to represent a path to any network that does not have a more specific match with another route in the routing table. Default routes are used to send traffic to any destination beyond the next upstream route.
Why use static routing? Some advantages are static routes are not advertised over the network, resulting in better security. Static routes use less bandwidth, and dynamic routing protocols, no CPU cycles are used to calculate and communicate routes, and the path a static route uses to send data is known. Some disadvantages are it does not scale well with growing networks. Configuration is error-prone, especially in large networks, and initial configuration and maintenance is time-consuming.
The command IP route is used when configuring a static route. Manually entering the remote network into a router is more time-consuming than dynamically doing so. There's another type of static address known as a floating static route.
The command IPv6 route is used in IPv6 static routing. Like IPv4, IPv6 supports static and default static routes. They are used and configured like IPv4 static routes. To configure a default IPv6 route, use the command shown on the slide as a global configuration command.
These are the questions. And there are no answers. So thank you for watching. If you like, please like and subscribe.